Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of RTN News. I'm Aris Theofanopoulos.
And I'm Katlyn Scott.
In an attempt to secure trade markets and some economic stability, the European Union looks to stomp out the use of specific cheese names like Parmesan, Feta, and Gorgonzola on cheese made in the United States. According to the EU, the use of certain European established cheese names in the U.S. diminishes European quality products and affects cheese sales. With the intent to establish a trade proposal with the U.S., the EU's cheese grievance has only caused annoyance. Not only would European cheese restrictions stifle the U.S. cheese industry, U.S. dairy producers and food companies attest, but changes to common branding and practices would puzzle consumers.
As an employee at Whole Foods, you are able to see everyone else's pay, from the lowest paid position to the CEO. CEO John Mackey believes that by publicizing paychecks, employees are more inclined to be motivated to do more. What's wrong with this flawed philosophy? Position is valued and needed. There must always be somebody at the bottom of the chain. Every Whole Foods store will be able to afford raises that are requested. Viewing someone else's higher wage might influence slacking upon the person being paid a lower amount. However, Mackey only makes $1 in annual salary with no business or awards. Mackey says, quote, he no longer works for money, end quote. Maybe these breakthrough advances in Whole Foods' payroll system will get employees to think the same way Mackey does.
A New Jersey judge decided that women are allowed to keep fathers out of the delivery room when they are giving birth. The judge's reasoning is that it falls under the women's right to privacy. The case came to light when Rebecca De Lucia gave birth to her daughter last year. De Lucia's estranged fiancé wanted to be there for the birth of their child, but De Lucia refused. She did, however, allow the father to come after the delivery. The judge ruled that it is the mother's decision on who can or cannot be there when she gives birth.
A gas leak causes an enormous explosion and fire in Manhattan. The tragedy hit two 5-story apartment buildings in East Harlem, killing 2 and injuring more than 52 people, critically injuring a handful of them. Officers continue to try desperately to find 10 missing bodies after the explosion. After getting a call about a gas leak, the utility dispatched a truck just minutes later. While not making it in time, Fire Commissioner Salvatore Cassano says they may have saved a few lives that day as hundreds of firefighters responded to the call.
Rachel Canning decides to come home. After the Morristown High School student sued her parents for mentally and physically abusing her, Rachel reunited with them, dropping a lawsuit seeking $600 a month for support and college. Judge Bogard denied Rachel just last week, saying that it could cause dangerous legal matters for other cases in the future. Their family has taken her back in and now asks for privacy and hopes to prevent further damage on their relationship.
All of that. For what?
I guess she just wanted a little attention.
I couldn't believe that. The whole family went through so much because of this lawsuit, and I understand now wanting their privacy, but I couldn't believe that.
I think she just wants more Twitter followers.
Maybe she does. I don't know. Rachel is one character.
She's pretty unique.
I think so. I really do.
Well, enough about her. Now let's go to Grace Dollarton to see what's going on in the world of entertainment.
Recently separated from Paula Patton, Robin Thicke celebrated his 37th birthday on March 10th at a bar in Hollywood. Accompanied him was friend Leonardo DiCaprio, who was a regular at the place that they were at. It was a strict guys' night out. Although Thicke has admitted he is trying to get his wife back, he still left the club with a smile on his face. The band we all know has made a comeback at the first iTunes Festival this year. Coldplay headlined the new festival, taking place over a 5-day span. Their show was scheduled to be 50 minutes, playing 11 songs. The band brought brand new songs to the table, giving the audience a nice change, but also played their old songs like Fix You and Vida La Vida. At the end of the night, lead vocalist Chris Martin thanked the fans for giving them a warm welcome back. Many old faces were inducted into the TV Academy Hall of Fame. The ceremony took place at a star-studded gala in Beverly Hills. Some of television's most powerful leaders and A-list members were in attendance, including NBC Entertainment President, 20th Century Fox chairs, the FX Network President, and former Tonight Show host Jay Leno. Closed out the evening with his usual comedic self, stating out of relief, a Hall of Fame ceremony that doesn't involve a drug test. Upcoming Divergent star Shailene Woodley has Twilight stars Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart on their supposedly toxic relationship, shown in the film series. According to the Time magazine, Woodley has said that the series sends a very misleading and poor message to teenage girls, since it's about Bella who falls in love with a guy and she would do anything for him, such as killing herself. Comedy series Key and Peele will be returning for a fourth season with the main stars Michael Key and Jordan Peele heading for a whole new show. The new season will have the largest count of episodes for the show. Containing 22 episodes, Comedy Central is planning on creating animated spin-off based on the Van Dieven and Mike characters played by Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele. Van Dieven and Mike started out as characters played on YouTube for fun commentaries. The Key and commentaries on the Key and Peele show. So how about Woodley talking about Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson?
You know, I think we were just talking about Frozen last week and how it's great because it shows that it's not all about relationships to young children of all ages, that it's not about relationships, it was more about family, and that's what is most important. And I don't necessarily agree that their relationship was toxic or not or whatever, but that they're talking about that. I think that's important to know that it's not the end of the world. If a guy dumps you, it's not the end of the world and life will go on. So I do agree with that. I think that was great. That's my personal opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that was me.
No, I agree.
I think Kirsten's pretty cute.
I think she is too.
That's all I have about this. You?
I'm good. That's all I have to say.
She's okay.
All right, we'll
No
stay tuned
comment.
for more RTN news after this short break.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
That's low. That's low and below. Look, he's blushing.
Hey everyone, welcome back to RTN News.
15-year-old Turkish boy dies after being shot by police. Berlin Alvan of Istanbul was innocently shot in the head by police last year while on his way to pick up breakfast for his family. The boy was in a coma for 9 months before being pronounced dead on Tuesday. The citizens of Istanbul took in the streets in protest after the boy's death was official. Turkish government then used tear gas and high-powered hoses to fend off the thousands of protesters. Elvin's mother has demanded the government produce security tapes of her son's shooting, but the tapes have mysteriously vanished. According to a CNN report, a wealthy Lebanese mayor has been arrested in Spain on a charge of human organ trafficking, an international crime in which people exchange internal organs for money. This is the first known time in Spain's history that the crime of organ trafficking has been detected. The 61-year-old mayor has allegedly offered $55,000 in exchange for liver tissue so the mayor could have transplant surgery. He allegedly had 9 accomplices who were willing to take part in the transplant. The suspects could face 12 years in prison if convicted.
NATO sent out 2 surveillance planes to monitor the growing crisis in Ukraine. They'll be flying over Poland and Romania, as it would be dangerous invading Russian and Ukrainian airspace. This order comes after NATO decided to upgrade its surveillance on Ukraine on Monday. The organization wants to see if Ukraine poses a threat to the alliance. Western nations already see the Russians invading Crimea to be illegal, so they will do more surveillance. The planes are going to be used for training missions, but they expect to add more planes to the mission.
If you don't mind, Aris, I'd like to talk about the Turkish boy who was just shot.
Oh, that was a shame.
That is such a sin to me. How can you innocently, accidentally shoot someone, and then he's in a coma for that long, and then he's pronounced dead?
And not only did they shoot him, but they're not accepting the fact that they did do it.
Right.
You know, they're denying the fact, they're keeping it quiet. The president of Turkey, is denying it, that they did this type of thing.
Sure. That just blew my mind. I couldn't believe that, and I feel bad for the family.
Most
and
certainly.
Our hearts go out to them. So now let's go over to Amber Mathis to see what's going on around our own campus.
Thanks, guys. A 3-week-long investigation led by Glassboro Police Detective Mike Powell has resulted in 4 Rowan University students to be arrested for issues with marijuana. There were 4 men who were charged with possession, intention to distribute, possession of CDS, paraphernalia, and wax, and possession of stolen property. This is the 3rd time since November 2013 that Rowan students have been arrested for drug issues. Rowan University is nominated and now one of the 7 finalists in the #BN College category for a Shorty Award. This category represents a Barnes & Noble college school that uses social media to successfully communicate between students, faculty, and the community as a whole. It was inspired by Sabrina LeBeau and the graduate at Rowan along with other associates who received enough tweet nominations to be competing against well-known colleges like West Virginia, University of Boston, and the Shorty Award winners will be announced on April 7th at the Times Center in New York. Keep up the school spirit, Rowan. Glassboro is sponsoring an Open Shred Day event, helping residents protect themselves against identity theft, and in the process going green. This will be performed by the DocuVolt Delaware Value Operator, who will be on site overseeing the shredding. This event will be held on April 26th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the Victoria Street parking lot next to the Barnes & Noble's bookstore. During the event, only paper will be accepted, no plastic or metal bags. Rowan University students protest Governor Christie at a town hall meeting in Mount Laurel. 6 college students, 4 of them being Rowan, questioned Christie on his use of Sandy Relief Aid and the Bridgegate scandal. Michael Brian was one of the students to yell out his complaints during the meeting. Brian, being a part of the New Jersey Working Family Alliance, was concerned on the amount of money spent on Christie's campaigns rather than helping families in need. Christie responded, either sit down and keep quiet or get out. Authorities escorted the 6 students out of the meeting and after their questions were deemed disruptive. Glassboro's train station on Whitney Avenue is one of 15 sites selected to receive a 2014 Preservation Achievement Grand Jury Award from the Preservation Alliance for Greater Philadelphia. The train station is also one of the only sites in New Jersey to be selected. The train station's exterior was redone this past year, and despite already receiving awards, the renovations are still not complete. Ultimately, the station will serve as a welcome center and a historic museum of Glassboro's past. Have you guys seen the new train station yet?
No, I haven't, but that was so awesome to me. That was really cool.
The best part about it is now we have direct transportation to Philadelphia besides the buses that run every Friday. So now we have that, and then we can ultimately go to New York through those. So it's nice to have that within walking distance.
Yeah, that absolutely is nice. And I thought that was cool that it's now going to be turned into like a historic museum type idea too for Glassboro. That's huge.
To be honest, when you first mentioned train, I thought you were going to talk about Soul Train and like dancing, but then that didn't work out. So I was kind of upset by that.
That would have been interesting. Sorry to disappoint you.
It's okay.
Well, thank you, Amber.
You're welcome, guys.
Malaysian authorities now believe that the plane missing since Saturday may have changed course around the time it lost contact with ground controllers. This news is both frustrating and confusing to the families and victims and search parties. On Tuesday, Malaysian Air Force General Rosdali Daud said in a national newspaper that the military received signals from Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 after it ceased communication with ground controllers and suggested that it was headed toward the Strait of Malacca. This contradicts previous reports about the plane's last known location. As to what exactly happened to Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 continues to be unknown.
Oscar Pistorius murder trial reenacted in court. Pistorius is on trial for the murder of his former girlfriend Riva Steenkamp. According to Pistorius, he mistook Steenkamp for an armed burglar hiding in the restroom of his home last Valentine's Day. Pistorius shot through the closed door 4 times prior to realizing he was shooting Steenkamp. When he figured it out, he used a cricket bat to bust the door down in an attempt to save her. The door was brought into the courtroom yesterday and revealed the spots Pistorius claimed he hit the door did not match up with the results.
This Malaysian plane, how sad that they still haven't found out what's going on with that.
I'm absolutely astounded by this. Planes are gargantuan, and with all of the technology that we have in today's day and age, the constant, the radars and everything, the radio systems that we have, how can we not figure out where this plane is?
I couldn't believe that either, and there was so many people on that plane.
Yes.
And I can't believe it. I was talking with my roommates, and we said, how? With today's technology, that was crazy to me, and how sad for the families who, that's
Yes.
no way of closure for them.
I would not imagine being someone's family, that someone on the plane was in this plane and now they don't know where they are, what their status is, where the plane is.
Sure.
Cannot
So
believe
that's
it.
what I was saying. So what happened? What could possibly have been going on in that plane, you know? So our hearts again go out to them,
Definitely.
and we wish them the best, and we hope that they come home to us.
Yes, most certainly. God bless them. Well, let's move on from that.
Sure.
All right, let's go on to Liz Brister to see what's going on in the world of sports.
The 76ers are looking for an early draft pick in the upcoming lottery. The Sixers have lost 18 consecutive games this season and are 15-50, not winning a game since January 29th. Recently, the team has traded Evan Turner and Lavoy Allen to the Indiana Pacers and Spencer Hawes to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Sixers are close to a franchise record, which is 20 straight losses, which was set in 1973. The draft lottery is on May 20th, where the Sixers will have 2 chances to have the first draft pick. The New Jersey Devils came to the Wells Fargo Center on Tuesday night, beating the Flyers 2-1. Zajac put the first goal on the board for the Devils in the first period, followed by a comeback by Nicholas Grossman. It was Jaromir Jagr, the former Flyer, who scored the game-winning goal for the Devils in the third period. This put the Devils 2 points below the Flyers, who were ranked third in the Metropolitan Division. The Phillies are optimistic about this upcoming season, but the health of some of the team's older players causes some skeptics to say otherwise. With Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins, and Carlos Ruiz all being members of the 2008 World Series championship team, these players have played key roles in the roster over the years. The roster has not been officially set yet, being that players like Darren Ruff can play at first base or in the outfield. It still stands to question if this season the Phils will be able to find the right combination of old and new to be a top competitor in the NL East again.
We don't know.
Its 14th annual excursion, the Chicago Polar Bear Plunge raised over $1 million on March 2nd for Special Olympics Chicago. The event, in which anyone can dip into Lake Michigan for an unforgettable experience, drew more than 3,200 people. Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel and The Tonight Show host Jimmy Fallon even became involved in this year's event, which helped the Polar Bear Plunge reach a record-setting participation. The plunge gained recognition as a result of Emanuel's challenge to Fallon to take part in the event. Money raised by the plunge contributes to paying costs faced by Special Olympics Chicago athletes. So, what do you guys think about Jimmy Fallon deciding to take part in this plunge?
Well, it's pretty cool for him. You know, he's such a popular guy, and for him to be a part of this really, you know, sends out a sign to like common people like us. You know, like we can do that as
Common
well.
people.
You know.
I know, like I thought it was like really awesome. It puts awareness out to other people, like, you know, you can do this, and I think it's a great way to draw people in for next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not to put anything lightly on Jimmy Fallon, but going back to the Sixers losing 18 in a row, I went to the game
so
this past
sad.
Wednesday, and I sat in the 19th row off the court for $11.
Really?
Yeah, really. So things have gone from worse to whatever it was worse than worse. It's
How
so
do you
bad.
turn around from something like that, too? I mean, 18 games, that's
I mean,
very sad.
I wish them luck,
Absolutely.
but, you know, it'll be nice to see them get a good draft pick, so.
Yeah,
you know.
that's what the whole thing about is. You know, together we build. You know? Next year is the year, always, right?
Always.
Oh, yeah. Let's
Well,
hope.
Thank you, Liz.
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Now stay tuned because coming up after the break, Benny Panella has your weekly weather forecast.
be happening.
This can't be happening. Of course it's not happening. Armored car. Listen, having money isn't about luck. Make your own coffee, save $1,000 a year. Feed me. Feed the pig.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back. Now let's go to Benny Panella to see what the weather forecast has in store for us next week.
On St. Patrick's Day, what we're going to see is some snow. Yes, Father Winter is not done just yet. However, before we get to that, we have to talk about Friday. Friday, or today I should say, it's going to be mild. A little bit of sun, high as 60. Tomorrow we're going to see a little bit colder, I should say, around 54. Sunday we're looking at a little bit warmer, 64, before we get down into 46 on Monday. Yes, happy St. Paddy's Day. Kiss me, I'm Irish. I'm not, though. Looking ahead, though, Tuesday it's going to be sunny, high of 55. And then, of course, Wednesday rounds out the week ahead with 52. And, of course, how many days do we have until spring? 5 days left until the first official day of spring on March 20th. Now, guys, of course, I didn't have any graphics there to really go in depth with the
You did a
days.
great job, though.
Absolutely,
You know?
that's what I was thinking.
We have one last wave of snow coming in this Monday.
I don't want it.
But then that's it, because with the way the weather's been warming up, no more snow. So
I
at
hope
least we're
so.
with that.
I'm really happy that the snow is just in time for spring break, you know?
That's right. I live 10 minutes from the beach. 10 minutes. I was really hoping to get just a little bit of sun, maybe just go, even if I had to bundle up in a sweatshirt, it would still be nice to at least go to the beach. Now it's going to be snowing and, you know, so.
I'll be going to Cancun, so.
Are you?
No.
Oh. I was going to say,
was.
man, I wish I was too.
It's going to be pretty cool, though. First time I've been on spring break where I could celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Even though I'm not 21, I'll find some way to.
And you're not Irish either,
Yes,
but
I'm
still
not Irish.
celebrate.
Irish potatoes, you know?
Oh, I can't wait.
They are delicious.
Most definitely.
I can't wait.
Thank you so
very
much.
much. Thanks for watching RTN News. I'm Katlyn Scott.
And I'm Aris Theofanopoulos. We'll see you next week.